squirrel sitting on there.
So where are we and what is this amazing project?
This project you're standing in is Silo City Rocks. We've taken over a near 100-year-old grain elevator that was completed in 1925, and it's been abandoned since 1964, and turning it into what's probably going to become one of the world's largest rock climbing gyms, inside and outside.
Awesome.
It's been a giant undertaking. Everything
literally and figuratively.
Quite literally and figuratively. It's larger than we could ever imagine. We knew going in it wasn't going to be easy, but we know that the outcome it's going to be one of a kind. It's not to say that it's the only grain elevator rock climbing gym. There are a handful already, and we're just kind of playing into that. Buffalo is ready for something interesting like this. It's right on the river. It's a mile from downtown, and there's nothing in the city like this.
Yeah.
And it's a real easy. Conceptually, it's easy. It's one of those things. We'll build it, we'll open it, and people are already coming from all over to see the site. When there's something to do here, it'll be even more interesting, and that's why we're doing it.
Awesome. And what another question that I wanted to saved is what happens to the grain elevators if they were to get taken down? Because I'm sure some of them have been torn down.
Some of them have been taken down. Some of them are still functional. Maybe a fifth of them in the area are still loosely functional, not to the extent of what they were back in the day, but they're still here, and they're made out of steel and concrete, so they'll always be here unless you actively try to take them down.
Right.
And the debate in town, in the city and cities like Buffalo that have grain elevators, it's what do you do with these things? They're not easy to take down. They don't fall down on their own. It's a very expensive project to do anything with them. And if you were to tear them down, like this one, we're sandwiched between the Buffalo River and Lake Erie. And if we were to take it down, you would need a really, really deep-pocketed, odd development plan to figure out what you could put here instead, because it's not something that would be, like I said earlier, you wouldn't want a mini mall here. It's not going to support a giant 15-story hotel. It's a very interesting place in the world down here in Buffalo, and it's an old industrial area, so it's not going to be immediately obvious if you want to turn it into something. So we're starting with some small ideas and getting people out onto the river, getting people climbing eventually up on the elevator, and kind of literally seeing the city from a whole new perspective.
Yeah, and obviously using this as a rock climbing facility is a much more environmentally friendly way to do it. Whereas you could build a new building, there's impact there, or you could tear these down, there's a giant impact there.
Right, so. and our effort to turn this into a rock climbing gym, quite honestly, this facility is multiple million cubic feet, and we're only touching a small fragmented percentage. The whole thing will probably be between 8,000 and 10,000 square feet of floor space, but it's really, it's just a mere percentage point of the whole area, the whole complex. And our goal is really to just kind of be the tip of the iceberg, just bring something fun and easy down here, and get people exploring and kind of open up people's minds to new possible things they could do, or have someone come down. Maybe someone will come down and say, "Oh, there's a rock climbing gym down the river, and there's you can kayak and you can do all sorts of fun stuff. It's right there, right in the middle of the city, in this old industrial wasteland. You can do all this fun outdoor stuff." And that will just beget more and more creative thinking and better ideas. So this literally tip of the iceberg. 10 years from now, who knows what will be here? That guarantee it won't fall down or be torn down. Hopefully we're still here. And I'm sure that there'll be 24 other wild and crazy ideas here by then anyway. So that's kind of the point.
What are the different kinds of things that are gonna be showing up? You guys have any plans? Coffee shops or anything?
There's the sky's the limit down here. It's we have nothing but space. It's privately owned, and the owner's a great landlord, I guess, and partner in all of this. And very informally, we've been working from the motto: if you can dream it and you can insure it, and we can build it. So that's where we're going. And to that end, it's going to breed some really wild wild ideas.
Yeah, this being the first.
Yeah, hopefully the first,
Yeah.
and hopefully not the wildest. Hopefully there's more crazy fun stuff coming.
Water slide, maybe?
We're actually, I've been, in the back of my mind, I've been looking at doing a little wake skate park out on the river.
Awesome.
We're talking about zip lines. In the next year or so, we'll probably be chipping away at a potential zip line site outside.
Yeah.
And we have height, we might as well use it.
Right.
And we're thinking an industrial ropes course as well. There's always ropes courses in country settings, in between trees and over scenic, precipices. But we want to do one, on the old,
It's like Spider-Man.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
So we will be developing the area, nothing on the ground. Everything we do is going to be, on the water or in the air.
Oh.
So we'll leave the ground and the roof to everybody else.
Right. Awesome.
That has its own indoor pond and waterfall. And the reason for that, this pit, the river is on the other side of that wall. Mm-hmm. It's at the same height as this, obviously.
Right.
It's 100 years old. It would cost $100,000 to figure out a way to get the water out of here.
Wow.
So we said, you know what, let's clean it out. Let's dump in some gravel. Again, one of our partners has his own pool stores. So we said, let's just make it into a water feature. So we've dumped in gravel. We're going to pump it out a couple more times just to give it a final cleaning.
Yeah.
Start filtering the water. Again, the guy who owns the whole place is a steel guy, so we have lots of access to shiny stainless steel. We're going to rim it with shiny stainless steel, light it up, and make it a fish pond. Make it its own water feature. And this little ledge here will have some sort of waterfall. Our main entrance will be that gaping hole in the wall.
Okay.
It'll have a platform.
Little bridge.
Yeah, literally probably just a platform the width of that. That probably it's out for approval with the city and other engineers. Let's go to the middle. Back here, there's still some crazy stuff all the way around.
Okay.
But these are the hopper ones. And each one of these, this steel is about as thick as your pinky. This is steel when steel was steel. It's before steel was recycled. This was like the original steel.
Yeah.
So this stuff is heavy, it's thick, and it looks all rusty. But when you cut into it with a torch, shiny inside.
Yeah.
It's 100 years old, and it looks like it's 2 years, not 200.
Right.
But it's like this whole bin is probably upwards of 10 tons of steel. So it's a lot of effort to get it out of here. But it pays for itself because we use like the steel rims. I'll show you outside. We're going to reuse a lot of the steel rings these rims that hold the bins up.
Yeah.
And the steel itself, we turn it into the recycling farms, and it actually pays for itself. It's its own mini revenue stream. So the crew that comes in takes the steel out, work at that, and then we turn that into money, and that buys us doors and buys us the rock climbing gym. So it just takes time. We'll get there. But you can see, like in the day, how this all worked. Every one of these rooms had one of these, and in between each one was that conveyor, and all 3 conveyors pumping through down to the middle, down to that pit. It was probably loud. Probably.
So were all these still intact?
We did a demo in here. That's City of Night. We kind of just had a little bit of fun. We roped it off. We just put crash pads all the way under the floors. The white is just covering up some pretty hideous graffiti that was there. And if it was quality graffiti, we would have left it. It was pretty hideous, so we painted it over. And just to indicate what was going on, this is going to be a bowling room. And you can see we took down most of the holes at this point. But we have a natural 45-degree ceiling. And we have some height over here, and this will be some basic power over here as well. But this will be a big fluffy 18-inch foam floor that pretty much fall on anywhere anytime.
Yeah.
Same with the other side. That's one of the last remaining. That's an art exhibit from the event, and we've been talking to the artist to see if we can get it refabricated permanently. Some of the structure is fragile, so we want to basically see if we can.
It's amazing. Are you going to have an apartment in there?
The goal is quite honest.
Where are we about to go?
Into that shady looking thing.
I don't know my kayaks right now.
What, do you have specific just orange?
No, I can just tell. I know my boats.
So Alex, how do you feel being up here? How's it? You good?
Definitely a little nervous. This is not like the Eiffel Tower with a big fence.
Well, you don't need a fence. It's a windless day. You come over to it.
Wow.
But that's the fabric. You can see it's this PVC and balsa and sheet.
How did they do it?
Well, we had these covered. We peeled off our seal and
Okay.
helped the guy string stuff up. The artist was downstairs. Our crew was up here. We just hoisted it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be. And it's gonna be all re-roofed. We have a spider basket, which is a 2-man basket on a winch that we will use to hoist people and stuff up the side. To literally relay a layer of concrete on this roof.
Picture of you guys.
Just something, there's a couple different rooms along the way. There's a 65-foot room, there's a room kind of at 40 feet. But you could travel on this to these other operations rooms to get to the top, get to the middle, get the electric room, do all the adjustments. And you had to get on this man lift like a petrified squirrel and just ride it up or down. That was it.
Is that the bathroom?
That would have been probably just this one of the worker rooms, probably the guy who waited. But come over, you gotta come over here. If this doesn't alleviate it's from here, it's probably about 10 miles due across.
Wow.
To drive, it's about 25 minutes, if that. Actually, after this, I'm going there.
You going to Canada?
Our family has a cabin right over there,
Oh,
so
okay.
it's about 5 doors from the lighthouse. So it's kind of fun because on a clear day you can see our elevator, and on a nice day, come up here you can see the way.
That's crazy.
And then, of course,
Hi. Smooth ground.
The freighter's coming in, but all the steel from those that was over here was here. That was about 6 tons. So that stuff was literally pushed down, pushed off the roof this past week, and the other side scraped as well, just so we could do this. Because this, as you can see, rain comes in, and snow and ice mount up. So we need to, from these scraped areas over, basically our end for now. We're starting with our end. We're laying down new sheets of concrete and material in the final ditch effort to waterproof this roof. And also capping holes, big gaping wounds like those.
Yeah.
But also it makes for some good views.
Yeah.
Things like nature train. It's like this perfect silver dollar.